Oh, we haven't seen these in a while. What is this? Kajiwara stared at the monitor as if unable to look away. These are images from unauthorized clinical testing of an antiviral drug I developed, carried out by my company without my knowledge. Images of a... I'm sorry, what was that? The detective frowned at the unfamiliar terminology. In simple terms, the antiviral is a wonder drug to combat the UR virus. Hold on. Maria is infected with the UR virus, isn't that right? Yes. UR is a species of virus discovered in South Africa relatively recently. Roughly 12 hours after infection, patients develop a cough, then a fever, then begin vomiting, and ultimately begin to bleed uncontrollably from all over, resulting in death. The mortality rate is... Osawa was reluctant to say it. Kajiwara held his breath, waiting. It's nearly 100%. Dun dun dun! Kajiwara shuddered. But wait, he said after a moment. If you have this wonder drug, then Maria... Osawa shook his head. Without Tanaka, I have no means of getting it out of the lab. Kajiwara's frown deepened. I see. It may not be much to go on, but I think we can put together at least one piece of our little mystery here. Something difficult or impossible to explain? An enigma. You see plenty of books titled The Mystery of Such and Such or The Secret of Whatever on bookstore shelves, but when you read them, you're invariably disappointed by the mystery not being that mysterious after all. Again, the game is pretty fucking savage, isn't it? Pardon me one moment. Kajiwara inspected the email address of the sender, A, then brought up the mail header. Oh, I forgot it's A, it's the Lobotomy Corporation manager, it's actually me. Let's see, maybe Kajiwara can bring some light into this. You don't see email addresses like this much? It's seemingly from a foreign country, but that may be fake. Oh, A could also be Alpha, couldn't it? You could tell that just from the email. The detective flashed a little grin. Take a look here. So if you just do this, and then this, his fingers flew over the keyboard, calling up the header details, singling out the received from field. This set of 4 numbers at the bottom is the sender's IP address. Think of it as an ordinarily hidden location mark of sorts. What? Are you sending your IP address with emails? That's not right. As he spoke, the detective pulled up a website called IP Station. He copied and pasted a set of 4 numbers and pressed the enter key. The monitor showed the name of the provider, connection method, and other such details. Okay, Osawa couldn't make heads or tails of most of it, but one thing drew his eye. Access point, Shibuya Ward, Tokyo. Kajiwara went into the email programs options and checked the server info for Osawa's connection. Deep furrows formed in his forehead. This is the same provider that you use, Mr. Osawa. What does that mean? What kind of internet connection do you have here at your house? What sort? Well, it's plugged in over there, but Osawa pointed at the router. And does everyone in your family use that same line? Yes, I think so. Holy shit, is I Alpha? That can't be real. Kajiwara opened up command prompt, then typed ipconfig. Damn, Kajiwara is a hacker! A literal prompt for users to issue computer control commands via keyboard instead of mouse, also frequently used to refer to the window or program allowing for such. Okay, so if the same numbers we saw before pop up here, that's a bad sign. Oh, Osawa stared at the monitor. Kajiwara pressed enter and a black window covered in white alphanumeric characters appeared. What the heck? Kajiwara muttered under his breath. Wait, what's going on? Osawa asked. Explain simply so that I can understand. Faking an email address is simple enough, but a typical person wouldn't be able to fake an IP. It's very likely that these emails were sent from another computer inside this house. Osawa had to stifle a gasp. The emails had been sent from his own house at around 11 o'clock that morning. Since Osawa hadn't sent them himself, that left only one possible culprit. She looks like a fucking villain. Suddenly his phone rang, nearly startling him out of his seat. It also makes sense that I would try to eavesdrop on Tanaka then. Makino's name showed on the incoming call display. Osawa quickly picked up. Is there an update on the emergency board meeting? He blurted. Makino's voice was quiet and subdued. I tried pulling whatever strings I could, but to no avail. I'm afraid holding a board meeting today just won't be possible. The phone fell from Osawa's hand. His only possible means of saving Maria was now gone. But he knows who Alfred could be, maybe. Could be I? TBC? Wait a second, so by not going out of the house, Minorikawa actually continues to go over to Heaven Publishing, doesn't he? Let's take a look at that then. God, how would I cut today's session? Fuck, that's weird. Okay, let's do this, Minorikawa. Let's just keep going. I'll take a look at how I'll cut this whenever I do. Alright. Oh no, is it fun? Okay, and now we can start skipping. You look tired again. I have to read this for the third time now, I think. Yeah, I guess so. His reply was barely audible. And then he stands in front of Heaven Publishing, thinking about all the bullshit that has happened so far. Thanks, Minorikawa left a 1,000 yen bill. Minorikawa turned back around. Kimizuka was leaning out of the window to point at him. It isn't called work because it's fun, sir. The day will be over soon enough. Just hang in there a little bit longer. The driver finished with a knowing grin. Minorikawa cracked the ghost of a smile. Maybe his spirits had been lifted just a tiny little bit. Ah, thank you, he replied. You're a true friend of the working man. He waved half-heartedly, then headed into the building. Minorikawa actually is quite a beautiful man, I think. At least when he smiles. Mr. Mino! Oh, Chiaki threw herself at him as soon as he opened the door to the editing office. News of the explosion was playing on the television. Minorikawa marched straight to his desk and opened up his laptop. While it booted up, he tried to get a handle on the current situation. Oh, I'm sorry, I have to yawn again. Oh, I'm so tired. It isn't even that late, it's only 11 p.m. Where are the folks from the loan company? He asked. They're here, Chiaki said. I have them waiting downstairs. Do they know Toyama's dead? I'm sorry, I kind of let that slip. What about Hana? I'm not sure. I haven't heard from her since she called earlier. With a tiny sigh, Minorikawa started typing at his laptop. By some miracle, his 6 pages of the copy were nearly wrapped up. Still, he needed to do whatever it took to see this job through to the end. That would serve as his final tribute to Toyama's memory. Did he really just up and killed himself? He loaded his copy into the DTP software in order to set the layout. Bit by bit, actual magazine articles began to take shape. Then the editing department door swung open. Hey! Snarled the young man who barged in first. He kicked over a stack of books. How long you gonna keep us waiting, huh? I get the feeling that these guys also get a different voice each time they appear. Honestly, Sugawa, must you be so rowdy? A middle-aged man stepped in alongside him. Are you Mr. Minorikawa then? He added as his eyes fixed on the journalists. He held out his business card. I can't be bothered to differentiate between the two. So I'm just gonna switch between the voices every now and then. A pleasure to meet you. No, it's a pleasure to meet you. I'm Masao Ozu from Takarada Financing. A black market lending firm that offers loans at an interest rate above what the law allows. Well known for taking whatever steps necessary to collect what's owed. Its business card slogan, got bad credit? Do you need a loan? Call anytime. We'll put together a loan that suits your needs. My deepest sympathies about Mr. Toyama. However, I'm afraid that we do need you to give us back the money we loaned. Despite his polite tone, the threat in his voice was plain. Look, next month's issue of 4-Star General Gossip is definitely coming out. Couldn't you please wait for repayment until we have the funds from those sales? Minorikawa asked. That was exactly what Toyama's plan had been, after all. Well, we certainly aren't monsters. If the magazine is going to be making you money, we wouldn't mind delaying another month. You really mean it? Chiaki chirped. Oh, sweet summer child Chiaki. To clarify, that would be the case if Toyama was still alive. Releasing the next issue is all well and good, but with Toyama gone, so too is the company. That will make full repayment of what we're owed impossible, I expect. Then, what do you want us to do? Minorikawa asked coldly. How about we just cut to the chase, growled the younger man, Zagawa. Dig out your ears and listen up, Chiaki recalled in a panic, and Minorikawa held up an interposing hand. Knock it off, he said. You're scaring the young lady. A thin smile came to Ursu's face. All we want to know is where Mr. Toyama's daughter is. Oh no, you didn't just go there. Yeah, that's right, Zagawa said. Tell us where the girl is. No way, Chiaki squeaked in protest. Hana's just a little kid. She doesn't have any responsibility to pay back the... Ursu didn't let her finish. We're aware of that. Nevertheless, we'd still like to know where she is. The law didn't matter right now. Guys like this had all sorts of ways of wringing money out of people. It was clear from the looks on their faces that Ursu and Zagawa had some wicked scheme up their sleeves. Unless, of course, you would prefer to take on Toyama's debts, Mr. Minorikawa. You are quite the accomplished reporter after all. Take on his debts, huh? Minorikawa didn't know how much Toyama had borrowed, but it only took one look at these guys to tell him it was no small sum. How about it? Ursu asked. The way you land scoop after scoop, I'm sure you'll be able to repay us in full before you die. Minorikawa fiercely returned his stare. Alright, I'll take on the debt. I'll consider it. Could you give me some time? Can't we just call it even? Let's take on the debt because I think protecting Hana is the most important thing here. Let's not dance around the bushes. These guys will be dead by the end of the day anyway if everything goes wrong. We all will be. Minorikawa's tone was resolute. But not just yet. Let me finish up this job here first. Very well. I suppose we can wait at least a little while longer. Was this the right thing to do? The two men from Takarada Financing plunked themselves down on the editing department sofa. Chiaki's fashion style is just weird. Mr. Mino, please, you can't agree to something like this. If I don't, these guys are just going to keep threatening poor little Hana. But still, that's none of your concern, he said. What I need to know is how's your piece on those street interviews coming? But, I mean, those guys, they said it doesn't matter if the issue comes out or not. Don't be ridiculous. When a professional agrees to take on a job, they see it through to the end. Chiaki took his point and scampered to grab the printout of a copy. Minorikawa gave it a quick once over. He saw immediately that the piece was lacking in structure. Damn it, Chiaki, can't you do anything by yourself? He then read the article a second time, checking the finer details. Several off-theme sentences jumped out at him. This is no good. Rewrite it. He thrust the printout back at Chiaki. Yes, sir. She bowed her head and retreated to another desk. Wow, okay. Didn't think she would just do it like that. The TV was still on. A news broadcaster's voice suddenly broke through the silence, as well as Minorikawa's concentration. We're live on the scene now, where an explosion in Shibuya has... Minorikawa gazed blankly at the screen. He found his mind drifting to a particular memory of Toyama. Oh, he's gonna hear now that it wasn't him. The door looked like it might fall apart at any moment, but Minorikawa didn't care. He pounded on it as hard as he could. The Toyama nameplate popped off and fell to the floor. It was hard to believe this dilapidated apartment was the home of a newspaper editor who'd walked his way up from the reporter. Hey, Toyama, get your ass out here! At the sound of Minorikawa's angry shouting, other tenants on the floor poked their heads out of their roofs to stare. He paid them no heed, continuing to call out. Eventually, Toyama opened the doors, dressed in his sweats and undershirt. Quiet down, you moron, he snapped. Come on in. I hear you tendered your letter of resignation at the paper. Who is saying this? Minorikawa sat cross-legged on the tatami-covered floor. Tell me why. Toyama quirked a lopsided grin. You want to know why I quit, huh? Alright, lean in close. Minorikawa peered at him dubiously. Huh? Why? I don't want anyone overhearing this. Resigned, Minorikawa leaned forward and turned his right ear towards Toyama. The man's warm breath against his cheek was pretty unsettling. At first he had trouble concentrating on Toyama's story, but when the older man got to the crux of the matter, he found himself listening with rapt attention. By the time Toyama finished, Minorikawa was unable to suppress his shock. You're starting your own publishing company? Not so loud, dammit. Toyama shushed him with a finger to his lips. He looked around warily, as if there might be spies in his own apartment. Right, but a publishing company? Minorikawa said again, more quietly this time. What are you doing for your distributor account? All booksellers were required to use a wholesale distributor to circulate their publications. To do business with such a distributor, the publisher needed a specialized distributor account. They're not going to let a company with no track record open a new account with a distributor. I'm sure you must realize that. Toyama grinned, a proud gleam in his eyes. I know, that's why I bought one. You bought one? A ghost account belonging to a publisher that went bankrupt. Distributor accounts could go for tens of millions of yen. There was no way Toyama could afford it on his severance pay alone. He must have taken out a loan in order to make the purchase. But the publishing industry was in a slump nowadays. People just weren't buying books much anymore. Starting up a new publishing company was a beyond risky endeavor. And I've already decided on a name for my company, Minorikawa. Toyama's face was positively beaming. Get this. Heaven Publishing. Heaven? That sounds fatalistic. The idea is that the people who work for me will feel like they're in paradise. For all his kvetching about keeping quiet? Is this a word? Kvetching? Toyama was now exclaiming pretty loudly himself. I mean, I can appreciate your willingness to take the risk, but surely your wife must have had objections, Minorikawa said. Toyama fell silent. He went and opened up the refrigerator. Minorikawa took a peek inside. This guy doesn't have a wife. Its shelves were mournfully spare, holding little besides beer cans and drinking snacks. The missus left me. Took our daughter with her. Those scant few words painted the picture clearly enough. Toyama grabbed a can of beer and tossed it to his guest. But no more sob stories, he went on. He briskly cracked open his own can of beer. Weak foam bubbled from the top. Cheers, Minorikawa, to Heaven Publishing's big debut. He'd cast everything aside and was striving for a new beginning. If the man had braced himself for the challenge, it wasn't Minorikawa's place to tell him he was making a mistake. Even if it was an uphill battle, he had little chance of winning. Congrats, Mr. Toyama! Minorikawa pulled the tab on his beer can. Cheers! The two of them clacked the cans together. That's a wholesome moment. So, let's see. 1 year had passed since Toyama founded Heaven Publishing. Minorikawa poked his head into the editing office, a bag from the convenience store in hand. Hey boss, how's business? How does it look like it's doing? Toyama sat amidst a veritable mountain of returned stock, his expression bleak. Bookstores do not purchase the books they sell, but rather take them on consignment. This allows them to return to the publisher any books that do not sell. Okay, didn't know that. The books were all bulky non-fiction tomes, not exactly the sort to fly off the shelves. The man couldn't even muster a smile for the reunion. It's been like this for every non-fiction book we've put out. Wow, starting right off with the bleak stuff, huh? 'Cause things are bleak. The only thing that's selling is this gossip rack of ours. Minorikawa pulled some beer cans from his bag, handing one to Toyama. Toyama lifted an issue of 4-star general gossip from atop his desk. It was Heaven Publishing's one breadwinner, the only thing keeping the company afloat. But the gossip now seemed like it was buried in the red of the publisher's non-fiction releases. I really did have higher aspirations than this, Toyama sighed, gazing in disappointment at the piles of unsold books. But here we are, with our gossip magazine as our only viable publication. The beleaguered bookseller chucked his beer. Daddy, I'm hungry. Minorikawa was startled to hear a young child's voice. He turned around to see a little girl nestled between the stacks of returned stock. That's my daughter Hana, Toyama said. It's complicated, but she's living with me now. I see. Minorikawa couldn't press for more details with Hana right there. In all likelihood, things with Toyama's ex-wife hadn't been going well. Go on, introduce yourself, Toyama said. This is one of Daddy's work friends. Hana turned to Minorikawa with a bright little grin. Hello, my name's Hana. I'm 6. You want some of this? Minorikawa held out a packet of dried squid he'd bought to go with the beers. Sure. Hana greedily stuffed her cheeks with the squid. Toyama flashed a sheepish grin. Do you like living with your daddy, Hana? Minorikawa asked, giving the girl's hair a gentle ruffle. How long ago has this been? When did they do that? I do. How old is Hana now? My daddy's amazing. He runs a company. Toyama let out a tiny involuntary sob at his daughter's ready praise. I'll keep at it, Toyama said, looking into his daughter's smiling face. Hana is more important to me than any high aspirations I might have had. I'll keep shoveling out copies of the gossip, and at least make sure she's always got something good to eat. Daddy, this is really tasty. Hana held up the pouch of fried squids. Tears welled in Toyama's eyes. Next time I'll make sure she has some sashimi instead of something like this. Hey, what do you mean something like this? Minorikawa grumbled. I'm the one who bought it. Toyama and his daughter laughed together. It was a heartwarming sight, Minorikawa thought, father and his girl getting along so well. Toyama might have been a hard-hitting journalist, but when he came home at the end of the day, he was just daddy. It was only natural for the man as a father to put his child above everything else. Aw, that's cute. That's cute right there, come on. After gorging herself on snacks, Hana fell asleep on the sofa looking well and truly satisfied. You know, Minorikawa, Hana's happiness means more to me than my lofty artistic ideals ever could. Toyama kept his voice low as he regarded his daughter's sleeping face. And from that day forward, Heaven Publishing had shifted its focus to scandal rags with 4-star general gossip as its pillar. Had that been for good or for ill? Whatever the case, Toyama had abandoned his pride. Minorikawa had watched him become more and more of a miserable wretch. Minorikawa snapped back into the present as a sheaf of pages appeared in front of his face. Here you go, Chiaki said, radiating anxiety. Right. Minorikawa gave her copy a close read over, then thrust it back out to her. What did you even fix? He asked. Could you please tell me what parts are wrong? She mumbled, hanging her head. What are you talking about? It's just, well, we don't have a lot of time here, so I figured if I just fix the parts that need fixing. Chiaki trailed off into an indistinct I think I'm losing it for today, I'm sorry. Indistinct mutter. Is that always how you go about fixing a copy? Yes. Then you're never going to get any better. If someone tells you it's no good, you rewrite the whole thing from scratch. Just making fiddly tweaks here and there is what an amateur does. Chiaki dipped her head even deeper, cringing at the reprimand. Minorikawa let out a tiny sigh. Look, what I just told you, that's what Toyama told me when I was first starting out. There were times he'd have me do dozens of rewrites. At first, I thought he was just pushing me around, but after rewriting things over and over, I realized something. There are a whole lot of ways you can write about the same thing, and that's what helped me hone my skills as a writer. Chiaki raised her head back up. Oh wow, really? If you can get that, then stick with it. Write your submission deadline as close as you have in order to write the best piece you can. Okay, I can do it. I will do it. Finally, Chiaki's face brightened with a smile. That's the spirit. The woman might have talent, but she hadn't realized it yet. She needed to be able to stick it to an assignment, even when things got tough, stick to an assignment even. If she didn't have that kind of resolve, she'd never make it as a freelancer. Oh, that golf clap though. Oh, how touching, also chimed in, applauding. I'm almost moved to tears. They'll make a movie out of this for sure. See? We had only been acquainted with that sad sap Toyama. We never knew there was such an upstanding fellow here who was so good at tough love. Minorikawa shot to his feet and pounded his fist on the desk. That's about enough from the peanut gallery. Hold your tongue, Segawa snored. His eyes shone with a vicious gleam. We're getting sick of waiting here. I'm having so much fun doing these voices of these scumbags. Segawa, you really are a short-tempered guy, aren't you? Ozu clucked disapprovingly at his underling, then slid a sheet of paper onto Minorikawa's desk. Nevertheless, I'm afraid we do require a decision now. If you'll just stamp here, we'll be on our way. Chiaki stared down at the document. Is this a bond of recognizance? Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's what you write when transferring a debt. Segawa puffed himself up proudly. Minorikawa silently looked over the contract. If you don't have a stamp, we'll gladly accept the signature as well, Uzu pointed out. Face it, pal, Shigawa added. If you don't hurry up and sign, we're never gonna stop going after Toyama's daughter. Minorikawa snatched up a pen. Mr. Mino, you can't do this. Think about what you're doing, Chiaki shouted. If you go through with this, you'll just wind up like Mr. Toyama. I won't. Yes, you will. Just who the hell do you think I am? I'm Minoru Minorikawa, dammit. I'm going to land so many scoops, it will make your head spin. And I'm going to pay back this debt and rebuild Heaven Publishing. But why would you take such a risk? Chiaki sobbed. Minorikawa lowered his voice. Because I owe him so much. I can't stand by and let these scumbags kill his daughter. Uh-huh. Before Minorikawa could sign, Shigawa startled him with a sudden exclamation. Looking up, Minorikawa saw what the loan sharks had seen. Little Hana standing by the door, looking creepy as ever. Get her! On it, boss! Wait, that should be different anyway. Uzu and Shigawa rushed at the girl. Run! Minorikawa shouted. Hana bolted right back out the door, but Uzu managed to snatch her up just as she reached the stairs. Let's be on our way, shall we? A vile grin came to Uzu's cruel face as he headed down the stairwell. What? Is this her above his shoulder? She's tiny! Stop! Let her go! Oh! Minorikawa rushed after them trying to grab the girl, but Shigawa drove a punch right into his face. That's it. We're down. Down for the count. Ugh. The pain staggered him. Nevertheless, he managed to press on. Get your hands off that girl. Oh, damn. Shut your damn mouth! Something hard slammed onto his chest. His vision went dark. He felt himself slipping from consciousness. Just before he blacked out, he heard Hana's voice. I'm sorry, Uncle Minorikawa. Guess this is a bad end. Sorry? No, I'm the one who should apologize. But before his thoughts got any further, Minorikawa passed out. Bam, 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 bam. Hana gets caught. Okay, Hana showed up at the office only to get caught by the moneylenders, and Shigawa drop-kicked Minorikawa into unconsciousness when he tried to save her. Turns out Hana had been at the police station just before this, trying to decide if she should tell the police her father had been killed in the explosion. Then someone brought her to Heaven Publishing, which was clearly a mistake. Goddamn Kano, seriously. Jesus Christ. Okay, we're gonna fix that next time though. Not today. I'm finished for now. Seeing Minorikawa die like that... No, just now.